Hi guys, it's Nancy here and I'm back with my final video for my Hey Little Magpie blog post this month. And this month I've been concentrating on using a variety of different collections from Bella Boulevard. And so this is my final page. I'll put the link down below where you can see the blog post. You'll also know that I have used a variety of silhouette cut files as well. If anyone wants to know any of the cut files that I have used and can't find them in the store, then do just put a comment below and I will send you the link. So I'm using these frames. I love these frames. I love how graphic they look. They just look fab. And I'm going to be using this picture of myself wrapped up in one of my big shawls that I've made. This one's a big one made out of alpaca. Oh, it's so warm and scrummy and has massive tassels on it. And we needed it in kind of like the beginning of May. It was so cold as well, so I was at the caravan a couple of nights and really needed to wrap up warm in that. So I'm using a collection of the different papers here. You'll see that I'm going to be mounting my photo with some of that Fisher's paper, but how I'm going to layer it, it just looks like a polka dot paper. So I'm also going to be using that large glasses die cut as well, which is going to work really fab with this layout. And I'm going to infill that with the plaid, tartan, check, whatever you want to call it, just to infill those. And I actually kept the middle as though die cut pieces because it was just going to be easier for fussy cutting out on that piece. I'm going to be using for my title one of the pieces which came from The Secret of the Seas, which had that puffer fish that you can see over there on the side, which says "Be Beautifully You." I thought that would work quite well on this page. So I'm just going to layer that there at the bottom and kind of roughly get kind of where I want everything to go. As I say, the colours in these, because this is like 4 different collections I think used on this page in total, it actually just works really well. I know, so it's Be Uniquely You, that was the one. Unique like a puffer fish. Those frames are just really going to showcase those papers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my wet glue to stick those down. They are a little bit fiddly and they do move a little bit, but I tried as much as I possibly could to get them square. I'm not too fussed about it, to be honest, but yeah, just got those to stick down. I said I think this this cut file would look fab done big as well as like a border of the whole page. So I've got a slight plan to do something with that as well. And of course you could use your software to actually cut out the middle parts as well, rather than just mount it up on here. But I knew that I wanted to use some more of the Nuvo drops, just to add some embellishment. I really love adding a little bit of sparkle with those Nuvo drops. So I'm going to be adding that on that inner frame piece. As you can see here, I'm just trimming them up because I said it didn't work perfectly. But I said I'm super happy how they came out. And it's just, I mean, I literally just traced in the line. I do just squeeze a little bit out first just to make sure that, you know, you don't get a big blob of it. I did at one part and I managed to scrape it up as well. Apologies that you can see my crazy hair. It wasn't looking the neatest that day, but it's all good fun. So I'm just going around with this turquoise, just putting a bead of it in there. And so when it dries, it looks really cool. There was a couple of places where I just had to push down because the paper sort of buckled a little bit, but you couldn't really see it and it didn't affect the overall. As you can see there, I'm just scraping off where I blobbed a large piece out. So I'm super happy how that looks. These frames, as I said, are just done with the black cardstock. You could layer several of them up, so they gave a little bit more dimension. That was something I thought about when I cut the 3 of them out. I could stick them all on top of each other to add a little bit of dimension, but I decided to use them as they were. Now I'm going to start mounting up the whole layout, and I'm just going to stick the frames down, just using my wet glue, and I'm just using the background to kind of help place those. That's a really nice piece from the Addison collection. I've had a little bit of mists over the top, but not too much, because I didn't want to detract from those frames. Of course, you could then put photos in these as well, but I'm just really using them as a background design. So now I'm going to build up this cluster and just stick down these layers, and so a lot of these are from the cut apart sheets. And you can see where I've used that piece with the fish on, and you really can't tell that it's a fish. I really like these clashing patterns as well, going on top of each other. So I'm happy with how that's all come together. Again, some of these are from the border strips as well. And it's just layering up lots and lots of colours. So I'm really happy with how everything's looks here. I'm just going to stick it all down. Did just put that piece of paper there because I wanted to just make sure that those glasses were not completely floating. So it's going to look a little bit awkward, but it's not floating as much as it was. I also cut out that little bit that says, oh, I'm fluent in sarcasm. I said it just kind of went with this bit. I also put a little touch of those Nouveau drops on the glasses, because that's how my glasses look. They've got little bits there. I'm just looking at my scraps if I can use them in any other places on the layout, but they don't really work. So next, I think I'm going to pull out my Wink of Stella pen to add a little bit of glitz onto the title. And then I was just pulling out another piece of that border paper and just sticking that down as well, just to bring a little bit more black and white in and just to help ground that top, because there was a lot of layers that were quite busy. So next up, I'm going to be doing my, oh no, I'm doing a little embellishment here. Knew I was doing something. And that's again using one of those buttons. And I've used my star punch just to do a little bit of that polka dot, which I've used in that middle frame. And then I'm going to stick these little rhinestones down, and I'm using alternative pink and blue. And that's just going to bring everything together as well. And I really like those gems. They're real great bright colours that match these collections so well. And I like gemstones. I mean, I think they're kind of one of those staples that you get in scrapbooking that were kind of a little bit overtaken by enamel dots. But I still really like a good gemstone. Don't think you can go wrong with them. So I'm just placing those in a line at the top and bottom of the layout. This is where I grab my Wink of Stella pen, and I'm just going to trace over that the U part of it, and it just brings a really nice subtle sparkle to it. Just because you had the gems and the other bits and you've got the Nouveau drops, I just want us to add a little bit to it, and just by doing layers it does build up the glitter on there quite quickly, and I really like how that looks. And I love these Wink of Stella pens. I originally got them when I'd done a lot of card making, but I've brought them into my scrapbooking more and more as well. So I'm sorry, I'm going to cut this out because it's kind of boring to watch me go over and over again. There I've just punched through the holes there, and I'm just threading a couple of times through that bottom, and then I'm just going to tie it off in the back, and then just cover a little bit of washi tape, and that's as simple as how I sew on my buttons. So I'm just looking here if I want to add anything else or not. I kind of do that at the end of the layout. I go, does this need anything else? No, it doesn't. So I'm just going to stick this down to this background piece of paper, and it's going to pop and bring the whole thing together. So I want to thank you very much for watching these layouts. I apologise that some of the narration was a little bit jumpy because I had a little bit of issue in the middle of this video, but hopefully it's not too bad. I will put the link down for the blog post below, so you can pop over and have a look if you want. I'll be back with some more videos very soon, so see you then. Bye!